Once upon a time, across two distant worlds, one kissed by the fiery sun of West Africa, the other cloaked in European stone and incense, two ancient powers rose from the roots of tradition. And though they never crossed paths, their spirits danced to the same silent drumbeat of destiny. In the heart of Nigeria lies Oyo, the mighty Yoruba kingdom, where the title of Alaafin, King of Kings, is not just a role, but a spiritual mantle passed through the whispers of the gods. No man wakes up and becomes Alaafin because he wants to. No, he must be called. And far, far away, in the sacred city of Rome, sits the throne of Saint Peter, a golden chair not of comfort, but of purpose. There, the leader of over 1 billion souls, the Pope, is chosen, not by popularity, not by power, but by divine guidance. Now listen closely, because what you're about to hear sounds like folktale, but it is real. It is now. In Oyo, when a king dies or his time has come, the land does not scream, it waits. The Oyomesi, known as the kingmakers, gather in the sacred council. These are no ordinary elders. They are men of power, of prayer, of ancestral wisdom, led by the Bashoru. They do not act alone. They consult the Ifa oracle. They kneel before fate. The oracle tells them who the gods have chosen. In Rome, when a pope dies or resigns, the world watches smoke. Yes, smoke. The College of Cardinals, over 100 robed men, lock themselves away in the Sistine Chapel. They take an oath of silence. They vote. If their vote fails, black smoke curls from the chimney. But when the spirit speaks clearly through their ballots, white smoke rises, and the people cheer. Two different worlds, same sacred silence, same holy waiting. In Oyo, the chosen Alaafin is not always the one with the loudest voice. Often he is quiet, calm, even unexpected. He rises not by ambition, but by ancestral calling. When the oracle confirms him, the drums sound, the people dance. The spirits of Shango, the god of thunder, is pleased. And in Rome, just hours ago, the people of the world stood in the rain. They looked at the chimney, and then it came. White smoke. The Pope has been chosen. Habemus Papam. We have a Pope. The bells of St. Peter's Basilica rang through the skies. A new shepherd has arrived. A man chosen not by polls or politics, but through prayer, ritual, and the mystery of spirit. And if you close your eyes just for a moment, can't you see it? The Alaafin of Oyo and the Pope of Rome, both stepping out, one into a courtyard of ancestors, the other onto a balcony above thousands. Two men, two leaders, two legacies, chosen not by man, but by something greater. But let us not be fooled. To wear the crown of the Alaafin or the ring of the Pope is to carry more than just gold or cloth. It is to carry burden. It is to sit on a throne built by generations and to be watched not just by people, but by history. In the palace of Oyo, the Alaafin sits not on an ordinary seat. It is said that his throne carries the whispers of Oromiyan, of Odudua, of the founders. Every decision he makes echoes across the villages, across time, and if he falters, the Oyomesi can remove him. Yes, even the king can be judged by tradition, because in Yoruba land, no one is above the ancestors. And in the Vatican, the Pope too walks carefully. His words become law. A phrase from his lips can change the hearts of millions. But if his path strays, the people will whisper, the world will shake. For the Pope is not just a man, he is the servant of the servants of God. So when we look at Oyo and Rome, we do not just see crowns and crosses. We see guardians of spirits. We see men chosen to carry not just titles, but truth. Do not be mistaken. The Alaafin is not a king of armies. He is a king of ancestors, of memory, of destiny. He listens to the cries of farmers, the chants of priests, the songs of the market women. He presides over festivals that renew the spirits, like the Oroyo festival. And he is the living bridge between old gods and a changing people. The Pope, he does not rule land, but he commands minds. His words can change doctrines, heal nations, or call for peace during war. He blesses pilgrims, visits prisons, and speaks from a balcony that sees the sun rise over ancient stone. Neither Alaafin nor Pope rules with sword or coin. They rule with legacy. A legacy built on trust, tradition, and transcendence. When a community is confused, they ask the Alaafin. When a family is divided, they ask the Pope. When COVID-19 struck, the Pope stood in an empty Vatican Square, praying for the world. In times of drought, famine, or unrest, the Alaafin calls on the oracle, on elders, on the people to act, to dance, to endure. They are not just leaders, they are beacons. And in a world filled with noise, confusion, and endless motion, beacons matter. Now let me take you even deeper into the world of symbols. In Oyo, when a new Alaafin is installed, he is given a sacred calabash. Some say inside it are relics of his ancestors, a way to remind him that the crown is never truly new. It is old, ancient, reborn in every ruler. He is also given a royal sword, not to fight, but to protect, for peace. And what of the Pope? He wears a ring, the fisherman's ring, a symbol of Saint Peter, who once cast his net not for fish, but for souls. That ring is kissed by kings, by pilgrims, by presidents, and when a pope dies, that ring is destroyed, broken. Why? To remind the world that leadership must never become possession. It is borrowed from the people and must return to the people. Alaafin, Pope, Calabash, Ring, Crown, and Smoke. Different roads, but the same destination. And now, dear listeners, let me tell you something you won't hear on the news. In Oyo, it is said that when the Alaafin is chosen, thunder might roll without clouds, a quiet sign from Shango that the ancestors approve. And in Rome, when the Pope is chosen, the pigeons may gather near the chapel, the skies may clear, and some say if you listen, you can hear church bells ringing before they're even touched. These are not coincidences. These are signs. Because when the universe agrees with a decision, the earth celebrates. Quietly, subtly, but surely. And what does this teach us? That power, real power, does not always arrive with noise. Sometimes it comes in white smoke. Sometimes it comes in the rustling of an ancestral wrapper. Sometimes it comes in silence, followed by transformation. So today, as we witness the rise of a new pope, as the world gazes at the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica and listens for his first words, let us also remember the Oyomesi, the oracle, the sacred drumbeat of Oyo, and what it means to be chosen. Not all leaders are elected by votes. Some are chosen by destiny. Some are guided by divine whisper. Some are shaped by culture older than empires. So I ask you, my dear viewers of Folktales by Fayoke, what if we all led with such sacred purpose? What if every decision we made was guided not by greed or fame, but by legacy, humility, and calling? The Pope wears white. The Alaafin wears royal purple. But both are clothed in something deeper: responsibility to the people. So today, I invite you to celebrate both. Celebrate the Alaafin of our past and the Pope of our present. Celebrate Africa and Europe, Yoruba and Latin. Celebrate the powerful truth that across this world, from villages to cathedrals, the Spirit still chooses leaders in ways that honor the soul. And let me say it loud for the world to hear. A new Pope has been chosen. The first American pontiff in history. He will be known as Pope Leo XIV. May your reign bring peace, wisdom, and compassion. Let the bells ring in the Vatican. Let the drums roll in Oyo. Because when spirits moves, the whole world dances. If you felt chills, if you learned something new, if your spirit said yes while you listen, then this story was for you. And for the ancestors who never stop watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this tale, because only here on Folktales by Fayoke do stories like this come alive again. Until next time, may your heart stay guided by tradition, and may your eyes always watch for the signs.